Welcome back, focused learners. Today, we're jumping into a truly fascinating explainer that explores the deep history, the digital preservation, and ultimately, the enduring human legacy of the Black Bat Squadron. If you appreciate efficient, structured breakdowns of complex historical transitions, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to look at how a legendary military unit navigated the massive leap from physical artifacts right into the digital age, and how a huge disruption in artificial intelligence totally flipped the script on how historians think about remembering our past. Okay, let's dive right into this. Glory and vision. Those two words really set the stage for our entire journey today. We're exploring how an incredibly legendary piece of military history steps out of the shadows of the Cold War and straight into the distant future. Because, it's not just about looking back at what happened, it's about the vision required to carry that glory forward in a world that is literally changing faster than ever before. So, to really appreciate where we're going, we've got to understand what the Black Bat Squadron, or the BBS, actually was. This wasn't just any military unit. The BBS represents the absolute final human over-the-sky surveillance activity before the modern era of satellites and unmanned drones took over the whole shebang. I mean, think about the massive historical weight of that for a second. It is a major, definitive milestone in the history of human war reconnaissance. These were real people, flying completely into the unknown, gathering intelligence the hard way, right before technology changed the rules of the game forever. Now, what's really interesting about this is the immense human cost. The source material explicitly states, it is the legacy of a final activity of great sacrifice. Before we had high-resolution satellite imagery or, autonomous drones doing all the heavy lifting, we relied on the sheer bravery of these crews. They faced immense personal danger, flying highly classified and genuinely perilous missions. Understanding this ultimate sacrifice, that is absolutely crucial to understanding why preserving their memory became such a passionate, decades-long pursuit. And that brings us to our first major transition in this explainer. Section 1. The Virtual Display Hall, Preserving History. So, as the original members of the squadron aged, the big goal was to digitize their history, so people wouldn't even need to travel to a physical brick-and-mortar museum to honor and understand these sacrifices. Let's trace how this actually evolved, because it's a pretty fascinating timeline. About 10 years ago, the very first iteration, the BBS Virtual Display Hall 1.0, was launched. They meticulously photographed everything in 2D, 3D, and video. Fast forward to the spring of 2026, they leveled up to version 2.0 with high-definition capture. But then, just a few months later, in June 2026, something incredibly disruptive hit. The launch of advanced AI models like Google Gemini 3.5 and Notebook LM 3.0 shook the tech and historical worlds like an absolute earthquake. Which leads us directly into Section 2, the AI preservation shock. This sudden leap in AI capabilities in the summer of 2026, it forced historians to face a profound, almost existential question. If all human civilization is stored in the AI bank, do we still need a real museum? Really, think about it. With massive cloud storage, endless YouTube archives, and street surveillance cameras all over the globe, AI can instantly access, cross-reference, and generate historical records just like that. If a machine can perfectly store and synthesize every single document, photograph, and artifact from the Black Bat Squadron, what exactly is the purpose of a traditional museum, even a virtual one? The conclusion they reached was honestly pretty stark. As the source material literally puts it, the game is over. The planned version 3.0 of the display hall suddenly felt, entirely obsolete. With AI systems now perfectly capable of instantly banking all documents and artifacts without needing any human curation, the traditional act of building and maintaining a static museum, whether physical or virtual, it just no longer made sense. The technology had completely outpaced the very concept of the digital archive. And this brilliantly illustrates an incredible crossroads we find ourselves at. We're looking at static history on one side versus a dynamic legacy on the other. See, no matter how advanced the AI gets, historical events, documents, and activities, they're perennially sealed in the past. They're totally fixed. But a true living museum, it's not sitting cold on some server. It is actually in the friends, the families, and the descendants of the Black Bat Squadron. AI can store mountains of data, sure, but it absolutely cannot store the warm pulse of a human legacy. This revelation sparked an incredible pivot, bringing us right to Section 3, a living human legacy, the BBSA. So instead of trying to compete with these massive AI databanks, the focus shifted right back to the human element through the creation of the Black Bat Squadron Association. So the crucial point is how they plan to actually execute this. The association outlined 3 main goals to make sure the military soul of this unit lives on. Number 1, connect the children and descendants of the BBS into a sustainable, natural human family. Number 2, actively maintain the historical positioning and honor of their ancestors. And number 3, pass down that truly unique spirit of dedication and sacrifice across future generations. Essentially, they're building a living, breathing museum out of people. To make this natural human family really work, they structured it beautifully into distinct membership tiers. Right at the core, you've got the family members. Those are the actual veterans, their children, and direct relatives on the family roster. But they recognized the need to expand this network, right? So they created a participant member tier specifically for friends of the squadron and Air Force personnel. And finally, the sponsor member tier throws the doors wide open to individuals and institutions who simply want to support and honor this incredible legacy. It's this wonderfully structured, constantly expanding community of shared memory. Now, of course, a living association needs a tangible visual identity to rally around, especially when they're gathering for their planned annual meetings. So they developed a really precise companion materials system across 4 specific steps. Step 1 is a founding commemorative 16:9 poster. Step 2, a distinct association banner to proudly fly at these gatherings. Step 3 involves physical membership cards and commemorative badges for members to actually hold and wear. And Step 4, a generational transmission poster to visually symbolize passing the torch. These aren't just, fun souvenirs. They are literally the physical artifacts of a living human network. And it all really comes back to this incredibly powerful quote straight from the source material. All of you are the sources and legacy of BBS, and continue the spirit and legacy to create the living BBS in the future. I mean, wow. This is the ultimate answer to the AI shock we talked about earlier. Living, breathing people bound together by a shared history and deep respect. They are the true resources here. They are version 3.0 of the display hall. They carry the spirit forward in a way that no algorithmic databank ever could. Which leaves us with a final, truly provocative question to ponder today. In a world where AI remembers absolutely everything for us, where our photos, our personal documents, our entire histories are instantly banked and categorized, how will you ensure your own family's spirit and legacy remains truly alive? The story of the Black Bat Squadron shows us that while technology can perfectly preserve the cold facts, it takes a living human network to preserve the soul. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will definitely catch you on the next one.